Hello, everyone. Welcome to my third video in my series about intercepted signs, planets, and houses that have intercepted signs in them. Today, we're going to go deep into the houses. So what I want you to do is get out your gorgeous natal chart, and I want you to look in that chart, and I want you to see if you have a house that has an intercepted sign. What is an intercepted sign? Well, you hopefully have watched video 1 and video 2 already, because this is video 3. If not, listen to this video and then go back and watch 1 and 2 so you can understand more deeply. But that is basically a house in your chart. You have 12 houses. Go look at the circle, and I want you to see if there is one of the houses that holds all 30 degrees of one sign. So you will have a sign before it on the cusp and a sign after it, and then you will have a house that has probably 3 different signs, and one of those signs has a full 30 degrees. So one of those signs does not sit on the cusp of the house. Do you get it? We are going to talk about all 12 houses, so listen to them all. We're going to talk about the houses that hold your interceptions. Now, listen to me. If you have a house that holds an intercepted sign, the opposite house will also be intercepted as well. So if you have an intercepted first house, you also have an intercepted 7th house. If you have an interception inside your 2nd house, the 8th house will also hold an interception. The 3rd house, then the 9th house will also hold an interception. If you have an intercepted sign in the 4th house, then you also know that the 10th house will hold an interception. And if you have your 5th house, if that has an intercepted sign in it, then you know the 11th house is going to hold one. And if you have an interception in the 6th house, then you also know that your 12th house will hold an interception. So I want you to go check and see if you've got interceptions in any of your houses. It's kind of rare, and it is only going to work if you use a Placidus or Koch house system. It will not work if you use an equal house system or a whole house system. Okay, so this is done in the Placidus chart system. That's the kind that I use. I am your modern evolutionary astrologer, and I use the Placidus tropical chart system. Okay, getting all that out of the way, I really want you to understand what it means to have interceptions. You can have an intercepted sign. You can have a house that holds an intercepted sign. And then you can have a planet that is also inside that intercepted sign. And you have to blend all 3 of those things. I could not do it in one video. I had to do it across 3 videos. This is my 3rd video out of 3 out of 3. I hope you love this series. Let me know. Let me know if you want a full masterclass on this subject. Let me know if you love learning about this. This is how you go from being a good astrologer to an extraordinary astrologer, because when you can start seeing these hidden realms inside the astrological natal chart, you can start doing extraordinary work for other people to benefit from. You can start sharing your knowledge. I should not say houses are intercepted. No, intercepted signs live in the houses. But the house matters. The house matters just as much as the sign and just as much as the planet. So you have to be able to synthesize, that's the exciting part, and blend the sign with the planet, if you have one in there, and the house. And if you don't have a planet in there, that's okay. It still holds value and a lot of meaning. So the houses that have the intercepted signs, those are very important places in your chart, because that is where you will get extra credit work, extra curriculum work, where you will have to work harder. This is not where life is punishing you, though. It's not a punishment. What it is it's not going to be a superficial place in your life. You're not going to be able to just gloss over it, even if you don't have a planet there. This is where you are being initiated into the PhD subject matter of that house. So that house's subject matter is absolutely critical to your soul. And your soul is asking you to work with this house, even if you don't have a planet there. There needs to be a conscious awareness around this house. And it's going to probably start out with a big fat challenge, And this is where you are being asked to emotionally grow and mature and step into wisdom. And we just can't do it when we're young. We just don't have the tools, even if you have world's greatest mentors and parents, because this is going to mature through life experience. And this is going to take patience. Now, what's really, really cool is when your intercepted signs inside your houses gets activated, that house is on fire. It's just lit up. That's when you have a chance for a great awakening. So you need to know, when is the sun transiting through those houses in your chart. So for example, if you have an intercepted Aquarius in the 10th house, well, then you want to remember, when the sun moves through Aquarius, it's lighting up that house that has an interception in it. And that is the timing. That's how you start doing predictive forecasting. That is when those 10th house issues, remember, you have a full 30 degrees of that sign. That's when that house is being activated, when the sun is inside Aquarius, if you have Aquarius intercepted in your chart. And so transits really matter. And the moon goes through each sign every month. So you really want to track the moon. You want to track the sun. And that's how you do forecasting. But in this video, I just want you to at least get the meaning of the houses. And, these houses that are intercepted in your chart, they're going to be deep. They're rare. These are the rare parts of your chart. And it's trying to create a resilience in you, an unshakable energy. Why and how? Because you're going to be very shakeable. You're going to be like on not steady ground until you mature and grow. And so what intercepted sign do you have, and what house is it in? I want to hear your story. And after this video, if you're just hungry for more and you want me to personally decode your intercepted signs and your house rulers and your hidden life themes, you can just book a reading with me or Connie Jo at soulnavigation.com. Just click on book a reading and go check out all of our options. We have tons of different readings and options. I just really want to reiterate that this is sort of your soul's secret curriculum. Intercepted signs and the houses that they're in, they're not accidents, they're not flaws, they're not forever challenges or forever problems. It's just a part of your soul that is saying, this part of you, you don't just have to get it or understand it, you need to become it. You need to step into the becoming of it to become you, the unique version of you that your soul is dying to be. So the houses that hold interceptions in them are asking for more awareness, more patience, and possibly even more evolution. Like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And over time, they become the very thing that sets you apart from all other human beings. These are the places in your chart that don't speak loudly. They whisper. They haunt you. Hey, pay attention to me. Are you paying attention to me? I'm your fears. I'm your fears. They're not really true. They're not really true. You just believe it because Billy Bobby told you to believe it, and it's not true. He doesn't get a vote. He doesn't get a vote on you. These are the parts of you that wait, and they hide in plain sight. They're some of the most fascinating but misunderstood and psychologically rich placements in your whole entire chart. And I want you to fall in love with the parts of you that are intercepted. Even though they don't have an official doorway, we are going to dig through the wall to get to them. So the intercepted sign is a zodiac sign that gets skipped by the house cusps. It doesn't rule any house at all. It doesn't have a rulership. Even though there's a full 30 degrees of landscape, it doesn't have a rulership. The sign on the cusp of a house is going to carry the planetary ruler, the boss, the lord of that house. So that intercepted sign has no rulership over that house. There is no doorway in or out to it. It's a closet without a door. You have to dig. You have to dig. And if you have a planet inside the intercepted sign, the energy can feel even bigger, like a bigger rumble inside of you. But for now, I really want to go through these houses and the meaning of the houses. And remember, you're going to blend them with the sign, the meaning of the sign, and the meaning of the planet that sits inside that sign if you have one. And also, I really recommend that you look at your mom's chart, your dad's chart, your partner's chart, your husband, your wife, your child's chart, especially your child. If you have a child, you want to know what their intercepted sign is and if they have a planet in there. And if you're the mom and they have an intercepted moon, that's a really big deal. That is a very big deal because it's hard for them. It's hard for them. They have to kind of dig out of that house to reveal their emotions, and they need you more than ever. So I'm so excited to share this with you. So let's dive in. Some people say intercepted houses, and I have said it that way before, but really what it is a house that holds an intercepted sign. Okay, that's technically the way to say that. But it means, as you know, when an entire zodiac sign, all 30 degrees, you'll see 2959 is contained within that house. You already know that these are going to be overemphasized houses. They're going to be really, really large. They're going to be bigger than 30 degrees. And so there's an enormous influence. These subject matters are subject matters that your soul in this lifetime want to spend extra time, extra credit, extra curriculum on. I also want to tell you that the signs in these houses are indirectly experienced and expressed. Like they're not obvious. You have to walk through another sign to get to that sign. And so they're usually activated later in life through awareness, through transits, and through maturity. So I want you to go look at which houses of yours are intercepted. And if you've got the fourth house intercepted, then the opposite house, the 10th house, is also going to be intercepted. If you've got the first house intercepted, then the seventh house is going to be intercepted because it's going to work with the polarization of the opposite sign. So I'm going to give you some soul definitions of the first house. If you have an interception in the first house, this is about yourself. This is about your identity. This is about your presence. So you've got to blend now. So you're going to have to rewind this, and then you're going to have to watch my first video in this series about the intercepted signs. Is you're going to have to blend the sign with the planet with the house meaning. So the meaning of the sign, the meaning of the planet, and the meaning of the house, and you blend them all together, and that's called synthesis. And that's my favorite thing to do. And if you're just curious and you just want all the answers, you can just get a reading. But I recommend that you try your hand at it. I want to help give you the tools in growing your astrological awareness. So if your first house has an interception in it, doesn't matter the sign, it's going to be about self-awareness. And this is your self-awareness, who am I, is going to be developed over time. And you're really probably going to start out with life, having to develop your identity from within you, more so than external validation. And you might, at the start of your life, feel invisible or unsure of who you are early in life. You might have a hard time asserting your courage or your power or just yourself. And so you kind of don't start off life fully seen or known, but you become undeniable over time. The second house, it's about money and worth and your self-worth and your values. It's also about beauty and it's about the arts. And so your gifts are that you're going to be able to build wealth. You get to define what wealth means from self-worth, knowing that you are deserving of it. And there is a value system inside of you that's not dependent on society, but it's dependent on how you feel, what you believe about yourself. In the beginning, you might actually have struggles with the flow of money or with self-worth. That's because there's an emphasis on learning about it. And so you might have a difficult time recognizing your own value in this world at first. So you must define your worth internally before the world can reflect back to you what your worth actually is. And it needs to be for real. You can't just talk it. You can't just say, oh, I'm great. Oh, I'm gorgeous. No, you have to believe it. You have to believe in your greatness. And so you're probably going to have to walk across a few hot coals to figure out that you really are great. And you are great. So the third house is about communication, thinking, your whole mental process, your microphone, your voice. And you're probably a very thoughtful and deep communicator. You probably have a very unique mental processing programmer in your brain. And you're probably quite perceptive. You're probably a very busy person, working on things that matter to you. There's an internalized thought process. You might not like getting up and karaokeing or giving a speech. And you might have started out feeling unheard or misunderstood or not smart enough. And it was a hesitation around speaking your ideas, expressing yourself. Your voice is going to strengthen over time. You just have to learn how to trust it. Trust your voice. The fourth house is about your home, your roots, your emotional foundation. You have a really, really deep internal world. And you have an ability to create your own sense of home. Like home is wherever you are. You can make a home anywhere because you carry the tools to create comfort and home, security, and a sanctuary within you. But in your early life, you might have felt like you really didn't belong. And you might have felt like your world was not that stable. You might have felt emotionally disconnected to the people who were supposed to love you. Maybe they didn't love you in the way in which you wanted to be loved. And eventually you will realize that home is something that you build, you create, you might even invent it. It's not just something that you inherit. So if your parents pass away and you inherit their home, while there might be things that you're attached to, you will reinvent pieces of that home. You will build it out of the life lessons that you learned. It'll be something very personal to you. The fifth house, if your fifth house has an interception in it, this is about self-expression, authenticity, romance, joy, and creativity. And so there is a powerful creative energy that will be revealed and will mature over time. Like your talent could be off the hook. There's an authentic expression, self-expression about you once it's unlocked and once you sort of get over the fear of removing the performer's mask and being in the authentic version of yourself. And when you're younger, there might have been a difficulty accessing the optimism, the joy, the creativity, or the playfulness. And there might have even been a fear of leaning into your creativity or a fear of romance, a fear of love, a fear of loving too big or loving too much. I would say joy is a journey. And over time, you will learn to let the joy in you shine. Shine that joy. Shine that joy in the world. The sixth house is about your daily work, your daily health routine, your small pets and animals, how you do life, your health and wellness, how you live in devotion to your routine. And your gift is that there is a diligence, a devotion to your work, to your healing, to your daily life, to your daily ritual. And you have an ability to create a meaningful, aligned daily routine that adds up to a very important life. Like Bobby always rode his bicycle 40 miles on Sundays. He did that for all of his life. You know, Sally learned woodworking and was in her shop every night after 5. And look at all this. You know, Johnny learned how to blow glass and look at his art studio. Like the devotion to the routine creates the magnificence over time, right? It's just beautiful. When you're younger, there might have been a difficulty around being consistent. You might have needed to make adjustments or even have an awareness over how you treated your body, how you did routine, how you found efficiency in your life, how you made things more efficient. And I want to talk about it like this. You are going to learn over time that you, my sweet friend, you, not what your mama said, not what your daddy said, not what your siblings said. You must design your own rhythm in life, one that truly works for you. So what's your rhythm? What's your routine? What are you in devotion to on a daily basis? The seventh house is about your relationships. So now, because we're in the top half of the chart, you know that if you have an intercepted seventh house, that you have to also go listen to what I said about the first house, because both will be intercepted. And so this is about your partnerships, your relationships. And the truth is that there's a deep, meaningful connection into other people, and your relationships are probably very, very important and karmic. And you have this ability to grow profoundly through other people, through connecting to others. And there are delays and confusions around love, marriage, relationships, partnerships. There is probably a difficulty in understanding what others need from you and want from you and what you need from others. You might really suffer inside of relationships early on, not getting it quite right, even finding yourself stuck inside codependent relationships. You might find as a little kid inside a family, you're the bridge between two parents that don't get along, right? And that's because you're developing the ability to partner. And so you're learning about all different kinds of partnerships. You're not going to be satisfied with doing surface level love. Mm-mm. Relationships are initiations into yourself, and really figuring out partnership that is genuinely right for me, not just what my parents say. Oh, my parents say I should marry, this person because they have money and a good background. I don't want to marry that person. I want to marry this person. Well, they don't like that person. Well, I do. I do. So do you have the guts to be with the person who you truly love? Let's talk about the eighth house. So if you have an intercepted eighth house, you know that you also have an intercepted second house. So now we're talking about money. We're talking about resources. We're talking about power. We're talking about shared power in the eighth house. We're talking about individual power that alchemizes into self-worth in the second house. We're talking about the power to transform, and we're talking about intimacy. So your gifts are that you are so deeply emotional and you have such incredible psychological insight, and you have this deep ability to transform the agony into ecstasy, the superficial into the profound, the dream into reality, the work into the retirement, right? You can alchemize life. Your life experiences will all transform. They will crystallize. So you pour sugar and water into a pan, you heat it, it liquefies, and then you put it on a sheet of paper and you turn it into rock candy. How did that happen? Yeah, you alchemized it. That's you. And it probably started out where you felt a deep fear of being vulnerable, of losing control. Spontaneity was not your friend because it would trip you up. And you had a difficulty understanding that you could trust other people. You were probably plagued with betrayal early in life if you have an intercepted eighth house. And so there's a cynicism and a skepticism that eventually, hopefully, you will turn into insight, knowing who you can trust and who you can't trust, becoming really discerning to the point of developing, transforming discernment, which comes from the sixth house, into the eighth house, alchemizing it into X-ray vision, into transparency, into I can see right through you. So tell me if you have an intercepted eighth house and if you can relate to this, because you are meant to become masterfully powerful and do good work with that power. Do really good work with your power. You're also meant to understand the concept of trust by being a trustworthy person. And you are here to be the great transformer. But first, you must learn how to transform. Let's talk about the ninth house. The ninth house is about your beliefs, your travel, your global expansion, your higher wisdom, your optimism, your joy, your pursuit of truth. The ninth house is vast and big, second biggest house in the zodiac. The gifts are you are going to have very deep, deep, deep personal belief system, a philosophical belief system, an emotional belief system, a belief system on every subject imaginable. And you are going to have an independent, spiritual, and intellectual path in life. You're going to blaze your own trail. Now, you might be influenced by others who were wiser than you at one time, but you're eventually going to be able to define all the things that you came to learn from all the many teachers in your life, put it together and articulate it in a way that benefits you in your life. I want to say one of the things that I liked about the intercepted ninth house is you're probably not going to stay stuck for long, stuck in a belief system, stuck in a system, stuck in a religion, stuck in an education, stuck in a book, right? Because this soul has to break out. It has to go see the truths for myself. And so at first, you're going to have this questioning belief system or feeling lost spiritually, or you're just going to accept what you were indoctrinated into and live very narrowly inside of your own self. Like, this is what my parents told me to believe in. Nope. Don't get an abortion. Don't get vaccines. Don't do this. Do this. Believe in Christ. Don't believe in Christ. Believe in Allah. Believe in Muhammad. Nope. This is bad. This is good. These are good people. These are bad people. Blah, 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 blah. And you don't question, right? So you might grow up that way, or you might grow up going, I don't know who to believe. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. I don't know what religion I want to be. My parents said I could choose. I have no idea. Either way, you got to go out there in the world and prove your belief. Check out your belief system up against the life experiences that you have, and you will see they will start to form and alter, and you'll start to say, oh, wow, my parents told me that was a terrible thing, but I don't think so. There's an overwhelming feeling about trusting the bigger meaning in life, or even seeing it or knowing it. So if you have this, will you please write in the comments, how does this intercepted ninth house, how did it operate for you when you were little? Were you indoctrinated into a too narrow of a belief system, or was there nothing to believe in, so you had to go out, trek into the world to figure out what you did believe in? You know, you might have grown up with people that gave you so much freedom to, hey, believe what you want, that you had nothing to believe in. Maybe nothing was handed down to you. Maybe no ethics or morals or even parenting. I had this one friend of mine who said, Meredith, you know, I know you felt like your parents were kind of strict with you. I didn't even have a parent who cared. I didn't even have a parent that knew if I was home or not home. I didn't have a parent that I didn't need to climb out of the window in the middle of the night. They wouldn't have cared if I walked out the front door or didn't. And I thought, wow, that hurts. That's kind of painful. So I want to know about you. And I feel like this house can go both ways. Like, oh, there's nobody to care. So I have to figure out really fast, what do I believe in? And it might be, you know, Mom, I certainly don't believe in what you believe in. You know, I was raised Amish. I don't believe in being Amish, right? I wasn't. I'm just giving that as an example. Like, I don't believe in this. I don't want to live on a farm. I'm a city girl. I want to tell you the golden nugget here. I want to give you the caveat, okay? If you have an interception in the ninth house, you have to discover your truth. You have to discover your beliefs, not inherit them. That's the truth. So have you discovered your truth Did you inherit a truth that you didn't believe in, or was there no truth at all to even believe in it? Where are you on that path? I want to know you. Please answer if you have this. Okay, you guys, before we go into the 10th house, I just want to show you. I wish to God I had a report that talked about intercepted signs, planets, and the houses that have interceptions in them, but I don't. But one thing that I do have that I really love, if you haven't already gotten it, is your soul's design report. This one right here. It's only $20. I'm going to show you why I love it. So I've got it right here. This is Princess Diana's chart. And this is the report. And look at how deep this is. This is one of my favorite reports. Now, I don't write this, but I absolutely love the author who designed this and what it does is it uniquely shows you your chart. It interprets your chart for you. I know it's computer generated, but they coded all of the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of combinations that are possible. And I absolutely love the author who built this report. That's why I bought it. I bought the license to sell it. But it goes into your astrological identity. I just want to show you this. It goes pretty deep. Like this is just about the sun in Cancer. And then it goes into your rising sign. And then this is just about Sagittarius rising. So it's quite in depth. Then what I love about this is it does talk about Capricorn on the second house cusp, Pisces on the third, Aries on the fourth, Taurus on the fifth. Now it doesn't go into those interceptions, but I love this because you're starting to work with those house cusp positions and you're starting to see your life more deeply, like based on the houses, not just I'm a Sagittarius sun sign. And then here are the positions and the aspects. And then it goes into the planetary sign and house positions. So sun in the 7th house, moon in Aquarius, moon in the 2nd house. And then you're starting to synthesize those planets in their signs and in their houses. So Jupiter in Aquarius, Jupiter in the 2nd house, and then you get the definition. So this is one of my very favorite reports. Then look at it. It goes into the aspects. So it shows you the different aspects here. And then Sun conjunct Mercury, which she had, Sun trine Neptune. And it shows you your most most impacted aspects that create your chart. And it even will go into the nodes a little bit. So I absolutely love, love, love this report. It's one of my better reports. And I would get this, though, after you get your starter package. So if you don't have your starter package, definitely get that first. Just go to shopsoulnavigation.com, get your starter package. And that will come with your natal report. It's really good. It's a little longer. It's in depth. And then buy this report too. So if you can afford both, get both. If not, that Soul's Design is so, so good. Okay, let's go back to the 10th house. The 10th house is absolutely wonderful, but if it's intercepted, it's like standing on the roof under a rain cloud. Standing on the roof in total fog, like hard visibility. And so I just want to tell you, your gifts are, you will find self-defined success. So you will carve out your own craft, your own talent in the world and share that with the world. And it's going to be unique and it's going to be different and it's going to be self-motivated, self-driven. How fun is that? Like you pick your own career. Yeah. Isn't that incredible? So I have this aspect, and look at me as an astrologer. I picked my own career. When I told my parents, oh, I'm going to be an astrologer, this was 30 years ago. They were like, oh, what? Huh? What are you selling? What are people buying? What do you sell? What do people want? Why do people want this? What is it? What does this do? Like, what'd you go to college for? They didn't really say that part, but they were thinking it, right? And I'm like, oh, you just watch. You watch. And it was really cute because remember my mom when she drove me to school in high school and I was like, but like, how am I going to put all these gifts into the world? Like these gifts are not tangible gifts. I don't know how to make reality out of this dream. So it's very interesting. And I just share myself with you as an example. I hope you understand that. For those of you who know me, which is quite a lot of you, actually, I've made friends with quite a few of you, even just through my lives on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. And you get to know a person. But I just want you to know, like, I am a walking, talking version of an intercepted 10th house. And let me tell you, it's really freaking painful because I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a biochem major. I don't want to take finance. Oh my God, shoot me. Put a hot poker in my eye if I have to do engineering or like do some reputable job, software engineer. No, thank you. Business banking. No, thank you. Statistician. No, thanks. A nurse. Heck no. A doctor. No to the no. I don't want to do any of those regular things, right? A pharmaceutical sales rep. Okay, I could probably do that. Okay. But I really don't want the corporate grind with got to make a quota, got to sell a certain amount, got to sell drugs that have not a 400% markup, but 10,000% markup. That's not right. That's not fair. I don't believe in that. What if I don't believe in the drug that I'm supposed to sell? You see what I'm saying? Like, had a really, really hard time doing the career path that everybody thought I should do. Like, by the way, nobody thought I should do biochem or engineering. I'm just saying, like, what the world respected. Like, do you want to make a decent living? You got to go be a doctor, be an engineer, be a software IT guy. Yeah, learn security. No, no. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I ain't doing that, right? I kind of now believe at 59 years old, honest to God, I could probably do anything and be successful at it. But I didn't start out that way, so I didn't end up doing it that way. But my 59-year-old self kind of believes that. Just because I've proved myself to myself over and over and over and over, and I've grown a tenacity. So you're going to build a self-defined path of success, and you're going to build your legacy over a long period of time. But there is definitely a pain and a suffering when you're younger around a delayed recognition around what you're good at, how your skill set's going to transfer to the world, and career clarity is just oftentimes not there because it's intercepted. Standing on the rooftop, singing a song in the fog, feeling unseen, feeling like you don't fit into the professional world easily because the outside world can't dictate to you what your career should be. Your success is going to be a slow build over time through trust falls, through nope, not that, nope, not that, nope, not that. But you're building something meaningful to yourself, something that is in alignment with your soul, and something that is going to create a legacy. Like, there's value, meaning, and importance in it once you tap into the truth that lives deep inside of you and you have the courage to do it. And I hope to God, if you have this placement like me, that you have something gutsy in your chart that won't take no for an answer, that refuses to just do the cookie cutter template that society says you should. And I hope to God you're doing you. I hope to God. So tell me if you are. Tell me if you share this aspect with me. Okay, do you have an interception in the 11th house? The gift that this is eventually going to give you is you're going to develop friendships for life or deep and meaningful connections that play a central, important, vital role in your life. And I'm also going to tell you that you are an incredible thinker. You are profoundly intelligent, bright, smart, innovative. You're a visionary thinker about the future. You're also an egalitarian. You probably don't believe in hierarchical structure or order, but like human rights for all people. There's maybe you even believe in like my pets are nicer than humans in a way. There's some humanitarian aspect to yourself that really wants to help those who cannot advocate for themselves. But the shadow side to this, when you're younger, is really feeling like an outsider. Like, where do I belong? I'm an outsider. I'm eccentric. I'm an odd duck. I don't get to sit at the cool kids table. I have to eat an apple under the tree while everybody else is at the cool kids' lunch table. Or you might feel like you're neurodivergent, so you can't express yourself very well. You might feel like you're from the future. You might feel literally alien or alienated. And it's painful. And look at today's like who's who, who's who's society. You don't believe in that, by the way, if you have an interception in this house. But the rest of the world seems to, like, right? The last thing in the world you are is probably a name dropper or a nepo baby. And so you probably found it difficult finding your people early on in life, feeling left out, feeling like an outcast. And this house kind of really reminds me of Castaway, Tom Hanks creating a best friend in his volleyball. Think of how beautiful and crazy that is and lovely. And that's like me with my imaginary friend that I was telling you about. And it's like, how did you cope with this? A, I want to know. B, I know that you will find your soul tribe over time. You will find your place in society. You will also be really okay with being your own best friend, and you will come to be okay in your own company. But I do believe that you will find that soul tribe that is critical and vital to your life over time through the journey of life. You're not going to make best friends with the person you sit next to in class just because they sat next to you for 5 years in elementary school in class. That's not how it's going to work for you. It's going to be deeply, deeply, deeply soul connected. It's not going to be just because they were in your third grade class. No, this is not Capricorn and this is not Cancer. You are going to find your people on your unique mission, and they will be like-minded souls. And your brain has to develop a little bit. Your brain is very advanced. And so you have to develop it. You have to develop your intelligence and your knowledge. And you're going to want to study and learn and know about odd things in life. And so who else wants to learn about those odd things? I don't know, the DNA of a starfish. Like, how many people are interested in that? Right? So you got to find your people that want to study the DNA inside the starfish. So this is a unique journey in life. And this is a journey of the eccentric mind. This is the journey of the visionary, the futuristic thinker. And this is the person who, made the Waymo car. Who was that? Who made those Waymos? And who's riding in those Waymos? Are you riding in those Waymos? I'm not riding in a Waymo. But this is kind of that kind of mind. And so you're just needing to find people that appreciate your unique vision and perspective. And it's unique. So it's not going to be everyone. It's unique. So it's not the 99%. It's the 1%. But when you find those 1%, oh my God, how riveting, how fun it is. But whatever sign is in this house, you have to go look at the planetary ruler of that sign, and that planet will be your best friend. So if you have Scorpio here, you got to go look at Mars and Pluto, because that's how you're going to find those people. If you've got Taurus here, you got to go look at Venus, because that's how you're going to go find those people. Probably, at some fashion show or some art museum or some waterfall hike, right? Or picnic or cheese factory. That would be me. If you're looking for me, look for me at the cheese factory, not the cheesecake factory, just the factory, the farm where they make the cheese. I will be where the wine and the cheese is at. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of a secret. And if you've watched all the way through to this point, you can tell me that you learned my little secret that I told you about, just so I know you watched the video. But this one guy, I don't know, rude commenter, you guys know that I love my wine. I have my wine tasting at my workshop, and I want you guys to know Washington wines. And we go to Walla Walla and Willamette Valley, and I fell in love with French wine, and we belong to a wine club. And oh my God, it's just so fun. We do wine bingo, we love it. But anyways, this nasty comment person was like, why are you always drinking wine in your videos? I'm not always drinking wine. Look at my Stanley that I got at Home Goods for like $11. This is water. Anyways, and my coffee from earlier this morning in my Leo cup, right? I'm not always drinking wine in my videos, but I am drinking wine in some of my videos, especially my Scorpio videos, just because I don't know. I think you deserve that part of my personality. Anyways, I was like, that is just so rude. Gosh, just like let me take down, the walls and just show you myself, right? And have a glass of wine with you, because some of the times I'm doing these videos late, like 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and you're my date. You're my date. So can I have a glass of wine with you as my date on Friday night at 9 o'clock? Anyways, I just thought it was kind of rude. And he was like, maybe you should check yourself into AA. I'm like, okay, this is so judgy. I forget what video it was on. I don't know. It might have been the Scorpio or something. I was just like, why are you sitting in your house so judgy of me, right? You definitely do not have an intercepted 11th house or an intercepted sign in the 12th house. That's for freaking sure. Anyways, I'm usually never rude back, but just sometimes the comments are just like, wow. I think it was it on an Aries video? Anyways, it was something like that. So like obvious Mars and Aries or whatever I was talking about. It was a great example of the shadow side energy that I was speaking of. And I found it to be just like hilarious. Like I probably even left it there. Like, this is a great example of the shadow side of this shadow side expressed of whatever I was talking about. Anyways, that's my little secret for you. Okay, let's talk about the 12th house. Okay, if you have an interception in the 12th house, this is your subconscious. This is your spirituality. This is your divine connection. This is the hidden realms of life. This is your fantasy, your imagination, your dreams. This is darker than dark because the 12th house is already dark. It's already where the Titanic lives. And now it's intercepted. So it's like the Titanic, but we can't get the doors off and it's on the bottom of the ocean floor. So over time, you are going to see that you have profound intuition, profound psychic and spiritual awareness. Yes. And you can find it because there's a stillness inside of you. There is a strong connection to the unseen realm, to divinity, to fate. You will understand the cosmic realm better than anybody else. You live out there, not inside social structure as much. In here and out there, and you probably merge them. But let me just tell you, when you're younger, this can feel so overwhelming. This is the largest house in the zodiac. It rules the infinite cosmic space. You probably can time travel. I don't know if you're meditating, but you should. You're probably like Charlie Puth. Is that how I say his name? That can like just hear the song in his head and then write it. There's intuitive genius here. It's not intellectual though. If it's intellectual, then it falls into the 11th house. If it is intuitive genius, like you can just paint I can see something and then I can just paint it and it looks just like the thing I saw. I don't know. I saw on Instagram a guy who like painted upside down and backwards, and it's like Morgan Freeman and it's perfect. It's like that. Like, this is the house of the mystic, mystical, magical, imaginary dreams, right? But when you're young, you probably feel very lost. Like, how do I make sense of this world? It's a lot like that 4th house that I was talking about. And this also means that you have an intercepted 6th house. So just remember, whatever sign you have or whatever house you have intercepted, you also have the opposite house intercepted as well. And so you might need to escape this world because it's too harsh. Reality is just too painful, too toxic. Too dirty, too filthy, too gross, whatever label you want to put on it. I'm not telling you to feel that. I'm just saying, like, it is overwhelming. Reality is overwhelming. And you probably are highly, highly aware of all of the invisible things that nobody else seems to see. I don't know. Your Aunt Kathy walks into the room for the holidays. Hey, I made the casserole, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my God, she has no idea how obnoxious she is. You sit down next to this table, Oh my gosh. So I took my daughter out for sushi the other night and to have a very deep conversation with her that actually moved her to tears. I mean, she was bawling, crying in this conversation. And this 4-year-old little girl just could not get out of our business, was standing up, jumping on the booth, looking over. And my daughter is right here, right? And so I can see the little girl's head peeking over. And I just wanted to be like, can you? I never get time with my daughter. She's away at college. Can I just have a minute with her? But she was 4 years old. And I didn't want to go around to the table and cause a scene that would embarrass my Cancerian daughter, right? But it's like that. It's like this. It's like the other person is oblivious to the negative, the irritating, the frustrating, the toxic, the just irritating energy that they're emanating. And you are just so dialed in to all the rudeness, the beauty too, but you have to train your mind a little bit to not just be annoyed with reality, because you've learned that your safe place and your sanctuary is really inside of here. And so you can feel lost and you can feel overwhelmed and you can feel invisible and you can feel disconnected from all of the real world. And you can feel victimized, actually, very easily, just because the outer world, the societal world, is so harsh. And so you can fall prey and victim to it. You're the little bunny rabbit in the land of the creatures, right? And so you can really go into deep avoidance of doing anything hard, because you don't want to merge your energies with the rough and tumble and the loud and the obnoxious corporate world out there, or whatever world you want to call it, harsh world, dog eat dog world. That's really what I should call it, because not every corporate job is bad. But I'm just saying, like, it's very hard for you to merge your energy with the harsh energy out there in the world, competitive world, right? Here, you really were not in touch with competition. You probably are not much of a competitor, to be honest with you, unless you've got planets in the 6th house, then maybe you are. I want to tell you that learning how to ground into or turn your intuitive gifts into benefiting the real world or reality is really how you get out of this one. It's how you grow this. It's how you start to connect, by connecting to people and experiences that deserve your glorious, gorgeous, angelic energy. And not everybody is an angel with a 12th house that is intercepted, but I will say you can tap into the pure goodness of life and people and yourself and the people and the energy out there in the world and the experiences that deserve you, And you don't waste your time on the harsh, toxic chemicals out there in the world. You could honestly be a person who brings insight and understanding to what really causes illness in this world. Like, what really causes cancer: microplastics, chemtrails, pollution. You could be a person who is a great healer of the toxicity, people, places, and things in this world. I mean, that's one of the ways in which your gifts could really manifest if you have an intercepted 12th house, advancing society through compassion and empathy. So let me say it to you this way. Intercepted houses are not where life denies you. They are where life says, you are not going to get the surface level version, the elementary, the pedestrian version of this experience. You get the initiation into the greatness. And that's why these houses bring to you some of your biggest and very best challenges. I hope so much you have loved this series as much as I have loved bringing it to you. It is so important to understand these interceptions. And when you do, you can see your life, your soul's contract more fully and more wholly, if you will. And remember, intercepted planets, they are not weak in your chart. They are powerful energies that often develop quietly, more privately, and in their own timing. What feels delayed can eventually become one of your greatest gifts, one of your greatest strengths, and sources of wisdom. I hope so much that this video has given you new insight into your chart. So please like and subscribe and share this with someone who loves astrology as much as you do. I love teaching you. I love that you're here learning with me. Check out all my videos on YouTube. And I've got tons of shorts. I do a short every single day. And I hope you'll come learn with me at the Athena Academy of Astrology. Go check it out. And until I see you again, I hope you are wonderful wherever you are at in the world.